Hello, my name is Alex, and if you're a Bitcoin or other virtual currencies fan, especially if you're doing any sort of mining, you will want to pay close attention to this video presentation. This video has the potential to give you the extra boost that you need to keep your mining business running in these hard times. Nowadays, everybody is mining, and the algorithm difficulty is raised so high that it's barely profitable to keep the machines plugged in. If you are a smart person which knows his business and did not start mining just because everyone else did, you know that in this business, only those who truly believe in the crypto of choice and the people or companies which to last the most will win the big ticket at the next huge price change. To be honest, I should not have made this video. I have discovered something that not many believe to be possible. One of the people I talked to about this project told me that I'm crazy, spreading the know-how which others will use to make a ton of money with, and that I should sell the already made machines instead. The truth is that I believe in the reason which made me decide to make this video, and I will share this with you later, so please keep your eyes and ears open as you're going to learn something awesome. You probably already know that the Chinese mining farms have a huge advantage in comparison with the small farms or individual miners. The big farms pay as little as 1 cent per kilowatt of electricity. That's 5 to 10 times less what the average miners are paying right now. There is no way to beat that, but there still is hope by making your mining equipment more efficient. But how do you do that if you do not have a couple of $1 million sitting around to design your own equipment? Many of you may already know that these machines do not like heat at all. They tend to break a lot if the environment they are being kept running in is harsh, not properly ventilated, dehumidified, filtered, cooled, etc. If you own 1 to 5 miners, you might not have such issues. But when you are trying to scale this business, you begin hitting all kinds of barriers which are going to increase the difficulty of keeping your business running until it becomes profitable again. That might be when most of the mining companies or individuals stop having faith and just quit. They will end up selling or busting their equipment due to the conditions they were kept in. I'm sure that you've seen a few videos before with people cooling their machines using different ways, but the results were mostly uncertain and very little information was provided. One of the ways which got my attention was cooling the mining equipment by using mineral oil. I started to research how such a system works and how well it will scale. It took me a few weeks to get around the principle, and after I knew everything there is to know on sizing and calculating the volume required to cool the mining equipment which I am running, Antminer S9, I built my first prototype in just a few hours. These boards have 63 main ICs, which consume 8 watts each, 95% of the electricity being transformed into heat. The board's temperature will raise in a matter of seconds to 100 degrees Celsius if no cooling mechanism is being used when hashing. This machine comes default with 2 high-speed fans which run at 4,500 RPMs, producing good airflow, but that comes with 70 decibels of noise. Imagine an old vacuum cleaner running 24/7. The other problem is that cooling with air barely keeps the machine at a decent temperature, especially when multiple machines are being run in a closed environment with no proper ventilation and air filtration is being used. This is making it almost impossible for regular users to mine using these machines because of the amount of noise and heat that is being generated. This is why most of the mining companies keep these machines in private data centers, special built to handle the amount of heat being generated. Without further introduction, check out the following video which shows a custom rig that I have built by disassembling an Antminer S9. I have split the machine into 2 modules. 1. The cooling module, which is an old car radiator with 2 60-watt fans attached, which could be very well mounted outside to inhibit the fan noise and to increase cooling efficiency. 2. The processing module, which holds the hashing boards immersed in mineral oil. The best part? The electricity consumption dropped by 15% and the temperature of the boards dropped from 70 degrees Celsius to 55 degrees Celsius. Not only will your system cost less to run, you're going to have it running for years instead of a couple of months when running with such cool temps. You know that Bitmain is offering 6 months warranty for this kind of machine, which starts from the moment the item is being shipped. That's saying much about a product, as I'm sure you would not purchase any CPU, hard drive, or RAM if the manufacturer would give it only 6 months of warranty. I am not actually blaming Bitmain, they just wanted to make an affordable product and they did just that. Nothing much we can do about manufacturing. But what we can do is to improve these machines, so you have a better chance to keep your head above the water and get a profit out of this business. Let me give you an idea of what kind of monster we are fighting. Your regular PC has a CPU that's consuming roughly 80 watts, and it has a huge heat sink to prevent the board from being melted when running games or doing other high-intensity processing. One of these boards is producing 450 watts of heat, which must be dumped somewhere. A mining machine usually has 3 boards. That's 1,350 watts of heat to handle for each miner by just using 2 air fans. Keep in mind that inside the case there are fine electronics and not a halogen tube used to heat you in the cold winter. The biggest issue when you try to cool the machines with air is that air has a thermal conductivity of 0.025 watts per meter Kelvin, which is very low compared to other fluids. And it is also very difficult to control the flow of it without building special rooms with dedicated air ducts and big vents in place. For this purpose, I have built my rig using mineral oil. The oil I am using has a thermal conductivity of 0.165 watts per meter Kelvin, being almost 7 times more conductive than air and 100 times easier to control its flow. I understand that these numbers do not matter for many of you, so I will get more pragmatic and show you the temperatures of my custom rig. I have left the machine running for 1 hour, so it saturated the fluid and got to the actual running temperatures. You can see the temperatures staying roughly at 70 degrees Celsius with the radiator inside the room, and the actual board temp is 56 degrees, as you can check in the kernel logs by looking at the local temp variable. Let's take a quick look at the system which I have assembled. I am using a regular car radiator, which I picked up from a scrapyard for just a few bucks. It is using a regular water circulation pump, which is very silent, has a great flow, variable speed, and is made to run 24/7. This goes inside a utility box, which I picked on a discount from a hardware store. This entire setup cost me less than $150, and the majority of the price was the pump. As you can see, building this is not rocket science if you know exactly what to do. I always enjoy teaching others how to build different projects. I try different ways of achieving great results with low resources. This is the main reason that pushed me to create this video series instead of just keeping it for myself. This is also a way for me to get some reward for the 6 months of work which I have put so far into this system. My first option was to actually build these improved machines and sell them already assembled. I still plan on doing that, but for now, I want to focus on teaching others how to improve the machines they already have, because no one wants to trash their machines for new ones. I have actually built my own Antminer S9 replacement board. You can see a few pictures, and I will show a video at the end of the presentation of me testing my custom board. By making my own PCB, connecting all the 1465 components, it allowed me to learn more about how this system works and studied different ways to cool it in order to overclock it in the end. After a few failed attempts, I got 2 different ways of cooling this board. One of them I already told you about. For the second one, I am still making my mind up if I should share or not. Depending on my decision, you might find the answer after you join our club. As I was saying before, I enjoy teaching people to build great projects. For this purpose, I have made a series of video tutorials which is going to cover step by step how I have built this mineral oil cooled machine. I know that some of you would have liked to have seen this info for free, but I can tell you that I could not have afforded to get it into such level of detail if I would have not hoped to get some of my investment back for it. If you want free info, do a YouTube search for oil-cooled miners and you will find a few videos with no information on how to build it or how to overcome some of the issues which you will have by building the system with no proper guidance. Here's a list of the things I will be covering in the video guides. You get a complete list of all the materials I use to build this rig, optimized for cost and endurance. Step-by-step video guides on how to build, configure, and power on this rig. How to bypass the control board check for missing fans with a small square wave generator circuit, which only costs $2 and a cheap car phone charger. Tips and tricks that will help you take care of your system better. The best part, you get the rights to make your own systems and sell them for profit, even if it's a 100% copy of what you're going to learn in this video tutorial. I will give you the exact business plan that I also want to apply right after I launch this video series. 1 year support via email in case you have questions or concerns about the system I built or related to mining equipment. I call this video guide Purchasing this video guide will cost a one-time fee of just $67. You could start building your own Torrent miner rig today by clicking the Add to Cart button below. The payments are processed through the world-renowned platform called ClickBank. As a bonus, if you are one of the first 500, you're going to get follow-up updates of improving this system even further, which we are going to release in the following months. To make sure I lift any concerns that this guide might be fake or some sort of scam, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and offer you a money-back guarantee for 60 days. If for some reason you don't find the information you received useful, or you decided that the message I tried to deliver was misleading, you have 60 days to get your money back. Even if you downloaded, watched, built your machine, and you are happily mining. If you feel that the money you have paid is not worth it, you can send me an email and I will process your refund without any question asked. If you are looking for a way to stay ahead of your competition by investing less on your mining costs and keeping your machines functional for longer, you have to see the video guides that I have put together. Click the Add to Cart button below to get started. You risk nothing. After watching the first 10 minutes of the Torrent Miner Guide, I am sure you will feel that this was all worth it and can start imagining how many more coins you're going to save after you improve your hardware. We are also working on some killer software improvements which are going to allow you to set the frequency on your miners and voltage, and all these updates will be offered free to the first 500 who purchase the Torrent Miners video series. Are you still there? Sometimes it's hard to make a decision when there's money involved. I understand and respect that. To give you a better idea on who I am and why you can trust what I'm saying, I will show you a video of me testing my own version of Antminer S9 hashing board redesigned from scratch. Designing this board required 3 months of circuit layering and 2 versions to get it working properly with all the 63 ICs. As I specified before, accomplishing this project taught me a lot about how the board works, what kind of temperatures are being produced by the components, and what is the best way to cool this board. To make it even easier for you to decide, you can get this video guide risk-free. You pay a one-time fee of just $67, and you have 60 days to decide if you want to keep this guide or not. In case you decide that's not for you, send me an email and I will happily refund your payment. The truth is, I hate scammers. They take advantage of the naivety of people by selling their dreams of projects that are not even being built at a prototype stage. You can watch my videos closely and see what I sell is 100% working, and there's no poor quality video made with a telephone, no shady angles or cuts being made to hide any kind of fault. We can improve this system a lot by adding all sorts of bells and whistles which will make your life easier as a miner, but we will offer those as free updates to the first 500 users which purchase this video guide. If you are ready to get into the Smart Miners Club, click the Add to Cart button below. You will be taken to a secure order page where you can complete the purchase. You will then be redirected to the download page where you can see all the content and a special bonus which I hope you will enjoy. I wish you the best, Alex.